That. Oh, right. So there. Right. There, get that there. There. Right. Hello everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we're doing another episode of Fabula Ultima, the castle that would pierce the horizon. And let us get straight into it. Their poem. Beneath the wall where shadows creep, where silent sentinels vigil keep, a tale was spun of daring quest, of heroes bold and hearts suppressed. The pale syndicate with iron hand did guard the gate of Drevos land, a tower tall where secrets writ, where silver tongue in darkness sits. The heroes came with fire bright to capture him to end the fight, but fate, she laughs with cruel delight, for capture came and all took flight. Lucius fled with heavy heart. Aether's form was nearly torn apart. Moore Duncan's luck held firm and true, and Zevon's fate was sealed anew. Locked within the tower high, Zevon's voice a mournful sigh, while Drevos' gaze, so cold and cruel, looks to future, sharp as a tool. The silver tongue has plans to make, and Osta's heart is his to take. His power hums, the city shakes. Before the dawn, the tower quakes. But hope is not lost, my friends, for in the dark a light ascends. Lucius calls, with more hopefully in tow, to strike the heart to overthrow. The tower looms with magic tight, a place of shadows black as night. But deep within a fight will roar, to rescue Zevon, to settle the score. Aether's strength in silent grows, her wounds heal fast where no one knows. She waits in shadow, bound by fate, to strike when Lucius calls all too late. And so, the race is set in stone, to free the captive on their own, before the syndicate takes its prize, before Drevos sets his eyes. The silver tongue, a man of lies, who twists the truth and hides his spies. But heroes rise, and they will fight, to steal him back from endless night. So gather round, our hearts so true, for in the dark, the path will strew the way to victory, sharp and clear, to free Zevon from her fear.
Yay! Oh, I also should be receiving a Fabula, because I'm starting the session with none.
Yeah.
And I also have to roll a d6. Oh, thank God!
Yes, how can I help you?
my boys
Oh.
get six of their fatigue back, so they are actually. I might actually get more than one use out of them this session if I need them. That's not true. I got like 2 uses out of them last time.
Yeah. So, Lucius, you find yourself in the outskirts of Osta. I imagine fleeing back to Rest Easy Camp in hopes of finding more in Zevra,
Yup.
because you have no earthly idea as to where Aether is gone.
Yup.
For your part, more Duncan, you had hung back at Rest Easy Camp to do a bit of mercantile shopping and preparing for journeys ahead, because there was a certain assumption that the tower wasn't going to be all that bad. It's one guy. They're going to get the drop on him at the top of his tower, and if they need your help, they'll send word. And while you and Zevra are actually sitting down talking over a deal, because she was looking to supply some other adventuring party through you, that's when you find Lucius, Vibius, and Abrinius returning in haste. And they look... Actually, do you look hurt at all? I don't think you have any HP lost right now.
Hang on. That doesn't seem right. I don't think I'm at full. I don't think I should
7
be.
healed him.
Yeah.
7 healed him.
Oh, did you heal me and then I like immediately booked it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you 2 shots to run.
So he looks, at most, you can see the damage to his clothes like he's fresh from battle, and you can see the various healing that happened from like where Magisphere healing happened. Actually, no, it wasn't Magisphere healing, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah. So you can see alchemical healing as he rushes in. More Duncan and Zevra, Lucius, by the way, they seem perfectly fine. They haven't been hurt at all.
Yeah.
They've had a perfectly fine afternoon.
Yeah, you see Lucius come in. He just seems out of breath.
Are you all right?
I am intact. He looks over himself. At least I think I still am. Like he pats where a couple of like the stab wounds were before. Nope. It's all still there. All good. They got 7.
They, as in your brother and father? I assume?
No. Why am I blanking on his name? Gray something. The guy.
Silvertongue?
Yes, Silvertongue. Why did I think Gray? No, Silvertongue. No, Silvertongue. Oh, hang on, he just walks over to a table, pours himself a glass of water. Sorry, I had to run across the entire city. Not fun. All of the noble decorum and or what little bit of priestly facade he has had up till late is just gone in this moment. Just
So, go ahead.
What I'm hearing is that his hevels have been thoroughly dissed.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
So, what happened exactly, Lucius? Says Zevra.
We attempted to sneak into his tower in the Via Questoris to catch him by surprise, and we were extraordinarily close when, through no fault of my own, we were spotted and, well, overwhelmed. Seven gave me an opening to escape, and so I did. Um, Aether also fled back into the city, but they seemed in something of a daze. But I think they will be all right. It's Seven that I'm more worried about, and we can't dally.
With a failed attempt, he'll be trying to pack up his tower. And once he does that, he can flee with your friend in tow, in locking her within a hope chest, essentially. I'd arm you further than you already have, but I think, frankly, the four of you are more than equipped enough, beyond what I could outfit you with.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
But we were barely able to not get in, and I was barely able to escape the first time. Now that they're going to be on even higher alert, I don't see how we'll be able to get in.
So, is that what the last pilgrim is to do? To let his ember die just because the wind is strong? She raises an eyebrow. There's no heat to the words. It's just a cold judgment.
Of course not. Um, it's just I am conscious of the reality of the situation.
Well, if we can't sneak in, I mean, the other options are to approach openly and attempt to negotiate, or enter by force.
It is. It is an option.
GM, I want to do something really silly.
Okay.
Oh no.
Can you take a Fabula from me?
I certainly can.
Oh. You're about to do what I think you're gonna do.
Walking in the door is Zevin Demeril and her little drone.
Yeah. Figured.
However,
I
Zevin...
don't know how. I don't know how we'll possibly rescue Seven. I never told it to her face, but she truly is one of the most clever individuals I've ever met.
You bet your butt I am.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, everything.
Do you need healing?
Perhaps.
Yeah, you're currently at half... You're at crisis HP currently.
That is so
Hi, what did I miss? What was that? You're gonna lavish me with praise and
no such
compliment.
thing.
Coward. All right, what did I miss?
Zevin, in your confusion, perhaps and fatigue after your rather daring escape, uh, actually tell us, how did Zevin escape? Because Zevin will ask, how did you get out of the tower?
Well, she woke up in manacles and rope and being dragged off in a sack. A very complex escape ensued, involving, one laser cutter from her cute little drone, 3 bites to the leg of one of the guards, a daring escape that turned into a fall into a ditch, and there's a series of flashbacks that are like single card images.
Yep.
In the
So do
midst
you?
of...
So question. So in that explanation, are you actually honest with us as to how you got out of it, or do you try to like fluff it up with like clever sounding words, like through careful mechanical application, you biting the guard?
Yeah, exactly. She is bragging.
But there is something that you saw in the tower on your escape.
Oh.
As you were making your way out, you saw people. You got to like from the top of the tower down and out. You were able to. You saw Aether being wheeled down with what appeared to be a automata of yourself attached to Aether by some cabling and magical wiring through Magisphere tech between this automata that looks very much like you and Aether being wheeled down to the basement of the tower. You couldn't really effect a intervention at the time because, frankly, you were at half HP and trying to escape. So it was either fight a bunch of people by yourself or get out of there and try to find everyone else.
So, we gonna do anything about the Hoosie Bob I saw there, or the thingy? Right. You need to use actual terms. Okay. I saw the robot thingy over there in the tower, and
I
I
see.
wanna look at it.
Most peculiar.
So you say that Silvertongue has... Well, I suppose it would make sense for him to try to work with one of the shape changers. Not a great many chances he would have.
Shape changers?
Those that are like Aether, those who are able to shift their forms.
Yeah.
I've met with adventurers recently, lore masters, who have spoken of her people. They are exceedingly rare, and their origins are still yet unknown. Some think they came purely from the Darklands, but I don't know how true that is. But
Well, that is where Aether is from, at the very least.
I think it's more likely than not.
But given someone of such rarity, she would be incredibly valuable to them.
Oh, Zevin, you heal 50 HP
Oh, yay! Thank you.
as heal is cast on you. By more.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well, that's an interesting point. You said that you saw them bringing Aether down?
Yeah, the basement or something.
I wonder. He looks off in the distance. Presumably we can see the tower from here.
No, the walls are in the way.
Okay, the walls are in the way. It's not that tall of a tower. Cool.
It's more that the walls are stupid tall.
The walls themselves are stupid tall. Cool. Well, from our recollection of it, is that a building that's like been there for a long time and was just taken over, or was that a building that was like put up recently?
Uh, Without rolling, you were told that this was a magical tower that was. It's a Sultanate tech where it's an insta tower. It basically is used by people from very rich people. It's actually meant for arcanists and sorcerers to create a tower instantly and then collapse it and then move it somewhere else. More recently, it's used by Sultanate rich folk to have their own private fortress wherever they go, and Drayville's has one of those. That's why you
Or
kind of. That's why he literally can, as Severus says, he can literally collapse the tower into the size of a hope chest and ride off in a wagon with everything inside, or whoever's inside.
got it.
Well,
That's cool.
it is most fortunate, Zevin, that you were able to effect your escape. At least this means that even should he escape, he'll have only one prisoner, not two. Though I do wonder what he plans to do with that facsimile, that automata of you. I didn't even think one could fashion such a thing so quickly, but perhaps more of his toys of your Sultanate of Ascara, no?
Perhaps I just got a lovely face.
Hmm.
Easier to play.
He did not hold you long, did he? You're only gone for a few hours.
Exactly. Well, I guess we gotta figure out where they're taking it. Gotta represent the original.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, if I were me, where would be the worst place I could go?
How do you mean?
Well, where would something that looks like me but isn't? Or the worst place I could bring it? And I guess the answers are probably a big city like Corio, or a big city somewhere else. Could let it run wild.
Well, from what you described, it sounded like your copy was attached to your friend. They'll be within the tower. The question would be where Silver Tongue intends to go with you. Or with Aether, rather.
Hmm. Well, I better get moving. We lose the trail.
Oh, they already packed up the tower? She looks at you puzzled.
No. I mean, we got a trail to the tower.
Ah.
Let's not lose it.
Deborah looks...
They're right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, she's just petting her drone.
Oh. Beep boop. Zevra looks to more Duncan and Lucius, though more of her attention's at Moore, because Lucius seems to be occupied talking with Vibius and Abrinius for a second.
I am back.
Oh, he steps back from his conversation.
Yep.
Zevin looks super eager to leave Zevra's tent and get back to the tower almost immediately.
Yep. One point of curiosity. Forces have been arresting members of the Pale Syndicate throughout the afternoon. I wonder if we may be able to acquire some of their armor to enable us to sneak in undetected.
For 2 inventory points, Zevra can get you that armor. As she tells you that between you and her, you figure that between her adventures and what's been happening in town, that could be arranged quite easily.
Is that 2 per person, or
2 per person, yeah.
yeah? I can spend 2. Although, actually, since we're in camp, can we actually just buy inventory points while we're here?
Good point.
You could, yeah.
How much are they again? I forget.
Some merchant you are. Gee.
I think it's 10 per?
Thought it was more than that.
It's 200 per
Yeah.
now. I have to look up the book myself, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while since I
Yeah, since we've had to actually
bought
buy
it.
stuff.
$70 or 104, I guess.
I figure if we're here and we're able to reload on stuff, might as well reload on stuff.
Oh, you are correct, Tensik. They cost 10 Zenit,
Yeah.
so I'll spend 20 cents.
Yeah, I remember it used to be a bigger deal earlier on when we did not have as much Zenit. When we were like sub 1,000 Zenit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Zenit. Depends on what we're spending it on.
So I'm good.
Oh, equipment. I'd like to refresh my equipment. If possible.
Yeah. I might want to also spend 2 equipment and then buy it back to get some Pale Syndicate disguises. That's what we're doing. Or at least that's what Lucius is doing.
I am as well. Because I like that idea. Good one.
What about you, Zevin? Shall you don the armor of your enemy?
All right.
Those 10 Zenit per inventory point if you want to refill, and it's 20 Zenit if you just want to buy it straight out of Rest Easy.
I'll have it for now. Need it forever. It's not my color.
And while we're at camp, you could also just refresh your inventory points.
By buying it. Refresh sounds like you get it back like it's HP.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes.
I mean, refresh is the language they use in the book.
Is it? That's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's the language they use in the book, though.
It's the GM's world.
They say it in the original Latin. Sorry, the original Japanese. There you go. Even though it's originally Italian.
An
but,
Italian book.
Yeah.
Boy.
Original Italian, my mistake, sorry.
And we're in fantasy, not Rome, so it tracks, actually.
Latin does track then.
So, Zevin, do you fill up your inventory here as well?
Yeah.
You're all in. Not. I won't take away the armor you already have, because you're basically just wearing disguises. You're wearing like the tabards and armbands and stuff that Pale Syndicate people wear. There is like an armor that the Syndicate sells to its troops if they don't already have their own armor. That's as good. But you guys have better armor. If a member has better armor than the normal, then they just have tabards and stuff to put over it. So you're in the Syndicate's colors. Right. So what plan do you have? Sever says to the group of you.
Sneak in, find this basement prison, and hopefully get out with Aether before they become aware. While it would be nice to take him into custody, we must be ready for that to be off the table.
Oh, very well. I wish the three of you luck then. Or five of you luck then. And I'll see to keeping some level of order in Asta. If Pale Syndicate withdraws, House of Ventus must assert its power over this city once again.
Mm. And I get the distinct impression that you won't have too hard a time with that.
Hmm. So, what do you do, heroes? As you linger still in Restisi camp.
Presumably, we're gonna head up to the Via Questoris. Probably should not head through the city because, from what I remember, the Mons Ecclesiae is actually a no-go zone for Pale Syndicate.
Yeah. So, do you go through the Via Questoris this way, or do you try to go through the Electra Ignis Porta outer city and then try to get out to the city that way? The tower that way.
First, I say this route, so the city is covered. So just walking through like a field site.
Hmm?
Not.
Say again. We didn't catch all of it.
If we're going this way, we should use the city for cover. Go through the street.
Yeah. That's my bet, is that if we go up through the Via Questoris, hopefully there's enough commotion as a result of just everything that will blend right in.
Yep.
So you all sally forth?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Okay. Let's see if anything occurs to you. The danger of something bad, of you getting caught up in something is as low as possible, D6, because you're in armor passing through Pale Syndicate territory, so it's... Yeah. As you pass through the Via Questoris, there's lots of adventurers who are eyeing you guys, but they don't... Some who are eyeing you because they're afraid of you, Some are eyeing you because they're mad, but they don't want to get the Pale Syndicate on the bad side. And some who are nodding grimly at you, like out of some strange level of respect. Many adventurers here don't really realize the crime that was being ladled upon them. And the few that have realized it can't really do anything about it. Pale Syndicate soldiers see you, and you're walking with purpose somewhere, and you're wearing nicer armor than regular troop armor, so no one really wants to bother you. You look like lieutenants. So, and really, they probably would try to look through your disguise to some degree, but they're kind of in a hurry packing everything up. They're trying to get out of town. But eventually, you arrive where the tower looms, as it does look like it is being packed away. Things are being packed into it, rather. So,
Lucius just looks up at the tower, sees the cut rope, shudders.
you actually see someone at the very top. It's still is just now, after all this time, finally taking up that last bit of rope. Because they cut it off and it draped against the tower, so someone had to go up to the top to start pulling up the rope eventually. It's like, free rope, whatever.
Oh, I'm so close. Very well. Let me do the talking.
As you wish.
And so is there just one main entrance to this place?
Yeah, there's one set of big wooden doors for this
Alright.
tower. You don't see guards there. You just see a glowing magical sigil on the jamb of the door. On the seam, in the center seam, I should say.
Do I recognize it at all?
Insight's part of it.
Cool. I will do an insight, and do my get my cool bonus on this.
Actually,
it is
front of the tower, so I'll put you here.
Yep. Insight. I get a plus. This. Inspect insight plus 3. Thank y'all. Yeah, that's what I like to see.
There you go.
You spy upon your eye a elemental of darkness sigil. It's the sort of thing that some magi use to guard their towers when they don't want to have a living guard. They'll just have a magical sigil greet visitors.
Mm-hmm. And so what would such a sigil do exactly?
What I just said.
It greets.
It would greet you, and if it felt you hostile, it would produce a dark elemental to attack you, to repel you. But if it will just simply talk to you if it doesn't know that you're hostile.
Got it. Very well. Mm-hmm. Lucius just walks up to the sigil. Hello there.
Whom approaches the gate of Dravos? It booms quite loudly. Some people do look over at you guys, but seeing you're in Pale Syndicate uniforms, no, that this is something there's a look of annoyance, like, this is happening again, and then they just walk off.
Yep. Maintenance.
Maintenance of what part of this grand structure of power?
Basement holding.
Present your seal of authority.
Do I have a seal?
No. No. I'm not even sure if what. If,
May I? May I? Oh,
Me,
you're getting
you?
into the tower, yeah?
Yes. Apologies. I have given my seal to my assistant to hold on to. One moment, and he turns back to Seven. Well,
I
assistant?
can I like show like a rough fabrication of one and spit some spit a nice lie in order to like throw him off guard?
You can attempt. I'll eat one of your inventory points as you rifle through your goods and try to grab something that looks like a seal. Basically, just a badge which amounts to a disc of metal that you can scratch up real quickly to kind of look like a seal of some sort.
Yummy, yummy inventory points. What
And
would my roll be like?
it would be insight as part of it because you're trying to guess what the seal looks like, so you haven't seen one before. I am going to impose a -2 to the roll because you haven't seen one of these seals before. This is new. It's not a new idea, but you don't know what seal they're using. You don't know what it's supposed to look like. You're just kind of guessing. And it's going to be opposed by the door, and the door is going to get a +2 bonus because it knows what it's looking for. Ooh. And the door... Most would have D8s. Wouldn't have D10s or D12s, I don't think.
That's so funny.
+2 puts it to 13. Yeah, you scratch up like a disc real quick and carve it, and it kind of looks like it can look like anything in the right light, and you even do that extra little bit of weathering on it by like throwing some chemicals on it to kind of make it look like it's been outside a lot, or maybe it got burned or whatever. So the elemental not being conscious, it's just it's a spell really. You kind of wave at it and tilt it. As you can see, it's starting to conjure the spirit to attack you, and you're like, no, wrong angle. And then no, it looks like this, and oh, sorry, it looks like that, and you can see it's kind of morphing like a pool that wants to rush over and slap you, and you're just trying to keep it as calm as possible until eventually it goes completely placid and will open the door for you. But you have an opportunity here.
Yeah, we could get something really good out of this, and not just clock stuff. Good.
I mean, information is pretty good.
Or a faux pas from the door.
Sure, faux pas from the door. As Seven holds up the badge and shows some hooey about how, like, this is, you see this? See how it's all messed up? This is what happens when you don't keep your to code.
Apologies are sent, for Silvertongue has sent the appropriate papers and writs to the House of Vantis to see your insurance repaid in full. Fear not, you will not be charged for its repair. People hear that, so now it's known that House of Vantis funded the Pale Syndicate, which is not going to make them look very good right now.
Whoops.
But otherwise, the door does open before you.
Better get the paperwork done right. I want to see all those T's crossed and all those I's dotted.
As we walk inside, Lucius just looks at Seven and said, "You enjoyed that."
oh, did I?
Boy.
You've never felt the fear of death until you got the permanent inspectors on you.
Time to be an Avantis. Fortunately, I am not one. Fortunately, I am not one.
Homeless.
As you all step into the tower, you are greeted by a hall far larger on the inside than it is on the outside, of sheer darkness that whose only spots of color are the various furnitures and tapestries that decorate the area. Um, but otherwise, it's all like smooth black stone floors and walls. But tell me, Zevin Demeril, how is this decorated? Because it is decorated in a Sultan of Ascara style. It's just there's Pale Syndicate stuff every so often, or Pale Syndicate soldier walking around. But otherwise, this guy just bought some guy's old vacation tower.
Oh, so it's like luxury you're talking here.
Yeah.
Vacation tower.
Well, it's kind of got a very like light and open design. Like it uses the space. It makes the space feels larger when you're in it. There is a lot of technology that's built into this tower, but the Magitech is all carefully partitioned off behind like sets of screens or inside wall panels. It's designed to look luxurious first, and the functionality is that's for the servants, you see.
Lots of hidden
And the
passageways.
good thing is a
and
tower.
stuff.
Yeah. It goes up and up and up, and the farther up we're gonna get, the more windows we're gonna see.
You do see a majestic stairway upward, and Zevin, being who you are, where you're from, you do know that if there is a base, you happen to know where the basement is because you were escaping. You know it's behind there's like this tapestry in the far back of the room that's hiding where the stairway is. It's more meant for servants to go disappear and put stuff away. It's not meant for the people who live here to go.
Exactly. We just need to jimmy it open.
Yeah, lots of guards are milling around. They don't stop to even look at you twice. They heard the door. Some people give a nod of approval, like, yeah, you told... Yeah, our stuff gets damaged too. We just didn't say anything. Good for you. Sort of looks, but, they're busy, so they're moving stuff around.
Yep.
As your explanation was boomed into the room as well, so part of that lie was also tricking people inside that you were legit.
Yep.
They'll never know the horrors that I've heard about collapsing portable towers.
Yeah.
There are stories about that. We shouldn't linger.
Unless you want to be jelly, let's go.
No.
Jelly. Lily.
So you lot head toward the tapestry to seek out the stairway.
Mm-hmm.
When you spy upon the stairwell, it looks like it descends in a spiral down, and tell me, Zevin, what sort of security measures does it look like it has? It looks far more technical and less luxurious now. It is far more, don't steal my stuff looking.
Yeah, like it's sleek still. It's just, it's a practical kind of thing. Or like little hand holding. Pull open the panels and fiddle around with the insides. Maybe don't tamper with the defaults. Good how it is, nice and spacious, and human-sized.
I see. Lucius just looks it up and down. Rather gaudy, said the senator's son.
Brinius looks at this contraption of a doorway. How do we open this? I don't see a doorknob.
May need
I'll
a
look-
hand with this.
I'll shrug and look over at Seven, because I assume she's seen how these work.
Yeah. All right, how do we open this? I make this.
Give me insight as part of it. I'll give you +2 because this is Sultanate tech. Well, repurposed Sultanate tech. So they know as much as you do in that regard. So as you're trying to figure out what kind of door this is, because you'd hate to pull out the wrong lever and do something very bad to yourselves, or pull a lever and okay, you can just roll back-to-back critical successes.
What?
So,
they're doubles.
yeah.
I think it's supposed to be doubles, but it's writing it as crit.
No, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, because critical success should be do 10 max result. But whatever, it's doubles and it's above a number. But yeah, 16 will totally do it.
Jeez.
Let me get that.
That is wild.
Go. You look at the various levers and knobs and light fixtures. It all looks, it's like you say, it's far more practical. So it doesn't have to disappear into the walls. It doesn't need to hide behind a tapestry. This is meant for someone to know what they're supposed to be doing. And you're pretty sure it won't be like vault door, like looking at it just to be sure. It isn't like a dedicated vault door to someone's personal treasure. It's just to keep people out, to keep servants from going down somewhere they're not supposed to. So it probably won't do much damage if you screw up. You're pretty sure. You do see a combination of the three things you really care about. There's a lot of levers are like how to clean the door, if you wanted to change the lighting down here. That lever over there, that wheel over there is just for moving the curtains in the upper floor. That one makes the room smell different smells, So a lot of this is just nonsense. It's not really important to what you're doing. It's controls for the room upstairs, the room that you're hiding from. The only thing that really matters is the 3 magispheres in the center that are displaying different sigils on them. And of the 3, you know that if you pass your hand over it, it will, sort of like a trackball, if you like wave your hand over it, the crystal will, or touchscreen I suppose, it will shift to different symbols. This one's a lot simpler than most, because again, it's just a security, it's a simple door, not a high level door. It has fire, water, air, and earth as you pass your hand over. The common symbols. Once upon a time, they were the old symbols, the precursor tech. But they've changed it since then to symbols that modern Ascarans would know. Because why memorize, especially for servants, why make them memorize old symbols they're not supposed to be messing with? And as you move around, you're also able to find a, normally, if this is a high security door, you would just have to know what the combination was. But because they expect servants to screw up and not know, you know that the average person would hide some sort of clue or a reminder. Not straight up put out the password, because that's how you get in trouble. But, and eventually you find a hidden away shelf you can pull out, and you find a scribbled note. That initially is blank, but you're able to use one of your magispheres to kind of hover over the paper to make it glow. And you see lettering that amounts to saying, "To pass through the storm, the flame must be stoked. The wave must freeze before the dust is broke. The breath must not be sullied, the stone must grow. The crystal's light must glow."
Why couldn't it be something like fire, fire, fire? It's like the default one. Everyone does.
Well, after the 5th or 10th time that someone stole from here, you get the feeling, yeah, that probably was what it was set once upon a time, and then someone robbed the downstairs, and then Silver Tongue probably changed it. You do have an opportunity, though.
Yeah. Can we get oh, there you go. You are can you also remind us of what symbols were on the Magisphere interface?
No. I'm supposed to memorize this stuff. This is old school. Get wrecked. No, just give me a second.
I think it was just the standard.
Yeah, we're doing this like one of those old text parser games.
Can I scroll up? No. You've too far up. Is Earth, Fire, Air, and water is ice, basically. There are 3 such switches. Hello? 3. There we go.
Oh, so each switch can be set to one of those 4 positions? Is
Yep.
that the idea?
Yep.
Okay. Through the storm.
Opportunity before you get into the puzzle.
Yeah. I mean, information
Wow.
seems like the obvious one.
I agree.
Yeah. I very much agree.
You think about this, and you look at the walls, and Zevin, has your character done any safe cracking and thievery before her days of adventuring?
With these guys, you mean?
Again, in the Sultanate.
You know,
Yeah. Before you met these people.
I've never been accused for any. Yeah, but perhaps one,
So in
maybe
that,
twice.
perhaps you know this, perhaps you don't, but perhaps you'll tell everyone, perhaps you won't, that perhaps this is a little more complicated a door than you're used to, because it looks right, but as you think more and more about it, you start just out of sheer caution. Nothing in Ascara is quite what it seems. I mean, it's all grandeur and power and magic twined with tech, but the deeper into a rich man's enclave you go, the more they don't want lower types like yourself digging around. So you get the feeling that if you screw this up, it's not going to make an alarm or anything. It's probably going to summon magical magical constructs to attack you. The guards upstairs will probably come down as well. But you get the feeling that they're gonna trust the constructs to beat you up first. And if those are broken, then they'll come down to see who broke the constructs. Because constructs should be able to beat your average person. I think when I speak of constructs, I'm talking like the Magitech troopers you fought in the past elsewhere. Or bronze golems even. Though not as big as the one at the top of that tower long ago. That was an ancient one.
Well, we got security.
On the plus side, you know you won't be set on fire or something. It won't like dump electricity at you or just make ding ding noises.
That's probably good.
It just means we gotta get it right the first time.
Yep.
Dust is broke. I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, and what positions are these things set in right now?
They were all set on Earth. The bottom ones.
That's interesting. The crystal's light must glow.
Oh, another thing, Zevin. Sorry. You know that once you set 3 of the crystals, a fourth like holographic crystal will appear in the center of the 3, and you'll have to choose a fourth one. But basically, if you guess the first 3 correctly, you're just left with the fourth one to figure out. But you do know there's 4 answers, not just 3. That's a common trick that's done with stuff like with doors like this. It's meant to make foreigners get confused. Which Oscarans, once upon a time, probably were confused the first time they ran into these things.
Yep. Well, you stoke fire with air.
This flame must be stoked. The wave must freeze before the dust is broke. The only thing I'm uncertain about is whether each line is represented by the 3 like whether or not each line is represented by one of the 3 levers, or whether or not we have to do all 3 levers, then do all 3 levers again, then do all 3 levers a third time.
I don't know.
Because each of these lines is a little too complicated to just be represented by a single lever, unless...
I'll correct you. It's not a lever. It's a sphere. Like, think a crystal with a face on it, and only one of those is being displayed at a time. The only way you can change it is by swiping your hand across the face of the crystal, and that changes what's being displayed.
So to pass through the storm. Well, the storm would be... pass through the... stoked. Like, knowing this, Lucius will give this a look over and see if he can't make heads or tails of this poem.
Insight's part of it.
And a 3, thank you much.
So you get the feeling this can't be thinking of the poem, sorry. It is talking about four different things. So it's not set them all to one, then set them all to another. It's each of the 3 crystals are set to one of the elements in order, and then the fourth one, if the first 3 are correct, the fourth one will pop up, and then you're supposed to swipe that into the fourth element. It's the poem that lets you figure that out. That's how they said it. That's kind of also a clue for the person doing it to themselves.
Mm.
And because you got such a high roll, I will give you a free guess. And if you are wrong, you'll stop yourself because you'll be like, your character will figure out that doesn't sound right, and you'll stop and you won't put it in.
Okay. Because currently my thought is, it's tricky because each of these seem to refer to two.
But there are only
No, I think the
4.
second one is it. Some of them are ordered to pass through the storm. The flame must be stoked. I mean, fire before storm is. I guess they are. Water before that.
Oh, hang on. Maybe this is it might be a hint to the order. Flame
Yep.
before the storm. The wave must freeze before the dust is broke. Okay, so in that case it would be fire, wind, stone?
No, water's
Or-
gotta be before stone right here.
Oh, right, yeah. Be fire, water, stone? Wait.
Stone's
Hang on.
last.
Here's the question. When I think it refers to crystal, do I think that's referring to earth crystal or ice crystal?
I will take one of your free guess away to answer that.
I would rather keep the free guess then. Never mind. Stone must grow. And you said that we figure that when we do the 3, a new one will appear in the middle?
Yep.
In between all 3 of them?
Yep.
Okay. Before the dust is broke. Okay, so then I think it's gonna be fire, ice, wind. And then the last one will be stone. When it eventually comes up. Is my guess. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Before the dust is broke is what is giving me pause.
Before the dust is broke. Oh well, before the dust is broke. That's not stone. The dust being broke is wind.
Yep.
So,
So fire, water.
ice, wind,
Yeah, fire, ice, wind.
and then stone. I think you're right.
Yeah. So, first guess, fire, ice, wind.
Fire. Ice. Wind.
Yep.
Wind. And then the 4th lights up.
And stone.
And stone.
Or earth.
And the door creaks loudly open. no one pays attention to it because that door opens every so often anyway, so no one thinks twice about it.
Cool, 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 cool.
And you see the stairway continue to spiral downward into another chamber. Do you descend?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you, everybody. You did great.
We solved the puzzle.
You descend into a grand library. What does a Askaran library look like to you, Zevin? This is a library of someone of high importance. Mixed in with various garish treasures that the Pale Syndicate have gotten. So there's like swords here or there, random bits of armor, a statue bust that someone took off of a choreo building. But the rest of it is this massive library.
I think the best definition for a high class kind of library is it's vast. It's not like vertical, it's horizontal more than you'd think. Yeah, so like there is some height to it. There's some empty chamber above them. So you have to go down the stairs a little bit before you get down to ground level.
So as you're spiraling down, it's not like all the bookcases go straight up into the ceiling. It's lots of bookcases kind of in circular formations, ringing the walls, and then closer and closer and closer and closer.
Yep.
Various glittering.
Full width of the tower.
Say again, sorry.
It uses almost the full width of the tower.
So this floor is more bookcase than floor. You see leather-bound books, papyrus, bamboo slat scrolls, and glittering crystal plates, and all kind of stacked in with each other, which would look very pretty if it wasn't for the occasional bit of armor or someone's dagger, you know. You see some of those slates are floating in the air. Zevin, you recognize that those are a type of reading glass. It's meant to record. It's the old way. It's the Magitech way to record a lot of data, a lot of information. Probably, how common are those? Is it common to see that across Askar, or is that only like a rich person has like one or two of these things?
No, they're decently common in the cities. If you're in the country, I know. But in the cities, yes.
Yeah, I think, these are kind of like, I also highlight these hover like arcane lanterns, but they're not lanterns, they're books. Although there are arcane lanterns hovering around lighting the room.
Cool.
You do not see a further stairway. You don't see any people down here. But you do see that there is a central desk in the center of the floor.
Right. What's team? A passageway from here, but
we've already seen that these places have multiple passageways that aren't in plain sight.
let's split up and search for clues. She walks off oblivious. kidding.
Uh, time to stumble on a secret passageway via Shaggy search technique.
Give me insight as part of it, as you're looking around trying to figure stuff out. I'll give you a +1. I don't think you've been in libraries much, but that wouldn't be alien to you. Like, there's public libraries, I imagine, but a rich person's library is just fancier.
Yeah, I mean, the Avantis estate has a library, and I did.
Well, I'm highlighting to Zevin, because Zevin would know how libraries in Oscara would be organized to some degree.
It's 7 making the roll.
If anyone else does it, they're rolling flat, because anyone's seen a library before. It's like, yeah, Oscara libraries are kind of their own thing.
Yeah, I'll give an aid, though. I forget, does
aid.
Yeah, does assisting on a roll count as an open roll?
No.
Okay, so I don't get my
Because
bonus.
it has the target
You
number's
wanna
10, basically.
If you want me to lead, I can lead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't get the whatever +2 bonus you said.
If you're leading, it is an open roll.
Yeah. So I will lead because I get a +3 to this from my my class thing, my lore master thing.
Cool.
So I don't get the +2 that 7 would get, but I get a +3.
Right. Just because you're very knowledgeable in general.
Okay. That's 13.
I am not helpful.
Yeah. Should have had 7 do the roll anyway. Jeez.
I'm rolling hot today.
Yeah, geez, 7. Your dice are on fire.
Wait till I roll a 1 and eat at most.
No, that was me. That was me last time. God. Oh, that was so rough.
You look around the room, you see a variety of books, a variety of the lanterns. With a 13, you very quickly, well, actually, sorry, higher than that, 14, but you're able to figure that the arcane lanterns probably will, they're actually not going to attack, because they are, I mean, they could, but it'd be a pain to get more. So these are probably, if a fight breaks out, they'll just hover to the ceiling to stay out of the way, and then whatever security measure that will kick people out, it will be activated. You don't have to worry about fighting a bunch of floating lanterns. When you look, really, it almost seems too obvious to be true, but that central table is the way to access lower. There's probably, it's not like a librarian's desk, it's just one big smooth surface that has stuff on it, but you get the feeling a lot of the stuff that's kind of been piled on that central table isn't really supposed to be there. That's just a after effect of people packing stuff. Normally it would be clear. Because there's one important thing in the center, which is this big, it almost looks like someone placed a window, and then upon the center of the table, on a tiny little holder or pedestal with a tiny hand grasping it from the underside. Kind of think like how a waiter holds a silver platter with the tips of their fingers from the underside, except it's this massive pane of glass that's holding up away from the table. You almost don't see it because the books are in the way. And that glass, if it's anything, looks like one of the data slates that you've seen in the room, except it's way bigger. And with a kind of cursory wave of your hand, because you've probably seen an Ascaran glass before, especially as a lore master, that would have been something that some rich guy in Corio might have. Which is hilarious when you think of Ascarans having it. It's like, yeah, the city's just any old person can have one of these if you're in a city. But all the way in Corio, it's a huge expense. But this looks bigger than that. You would call, if the data slates are books, like those little panes of glass are books, the big one is like a tome equivalent. And you are able to discern that there is a set of, it seems to suggest as you wave your hand over it that this book is meant as the way to check in and check out books. It's how you record that fact, what's in here, what isn't, and sort of central index of where things are. It does seem to indicate, if not highlight, that there are 5 books that haven't been returned. Which is a little odd, because the way this is indexed is that it's meant to just record what's here and what isn't. Like, if it's been taken out, it would just simply say, the book that was in this spot is not here. And then when someone puts it back, it would say, this book is now here. So there's actually a bunch of gaps for where the helmets are, or like some random drink is. It'll say, improper thing has been put here.
Ah, yes. I'm familiar with this sorting system, developed by the great Coriostellum thinker, Duius Decimus.
You see scribbled, kind of under, where beyond the glass onto the black table, which is a huge shame, because it's a beautiful table without this, but some lazy bones took a dagger and like scrawled it a bit onto the surface.
Oh, rude.
To open the door to what lies beyond, seek the words that have power. From the shells of forgotten lore, the path of wisdom starts with the first, but ends with the last.
Okay.
And that scribble, at first I'd say, why is that there? Until over your shoulder, Zevin, kind of spying at it, is able to point out that that was on the first page of the data slate. It was just written in Askaran, so someone must have just translated it and then rescribed it on the table in Choreo.
Got it. Okay, cool. Should really pick up Askaran. So, in that case, it sounds like we're going to have to find these 5 missing books. Do we know what these books are called?
Oops, that doesn't help you if I put it like that. There we go. 5 books are... There it is. They are a book on the common elemental magics, a book of the divine,
Okay.
a book of the ancient civilization that the Askarans study, a book of the future, or futures, divinations, and a book of shadow.
Okay. We get that list written out. Heard futures, shadows.
Let me get those for you.
Yep.
There's much longer titles, but you're able to kind of pare it down to the most important things you're looking for, because there's only so many of certain books.
Elemental magics, divine, ancients, futures, shadows. Okay. The path of wisdom starts with the first but ends with the last. Seek the words that have power. Oh. Do we have to figure out in which order these things manifested on the words power? Yeah, I think it's going to be a question of which of these came first. Which case would either probably be shadow or elemental magics. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm just gonna find the books and then we'll figure out.
Yeah, if you want to go and look for the books, go and look for the books.
Yep.
Insight is part of it, with a +1 because you know what you're looking for as you wander around the library trying to find where those books are.
This time I will assist you. No bonuses.
I
Oh
will
my
also
goodness.
assist.
What? What?
I don't know, but I think life is trying to be nice to me after the week I've had.
That
Hooray.
is what? That's 12.
So, you'll get an opportunity
It's
Nice.
dumb.
because you succeeded and you got doubles. I'll just put that back up for you. Yeah,
Very
you find the books in question quite easily because each of these shelves seem to be organized. This is the this is the shelf of magic, the shelf of history, the shelf of prophecy, so on. So it's actually pretty easy. Once you know the system, it's easy for you to just go, okay, I'm just looking for a certain book title. Okay, grab, and you're able to come back to the table pretty quickly.
That's funny.
Swap opportunity would you like to enjoy, Zevin Demeril?
Question?
I ask those sometimes.
You do ask good questions. You ask many good questions, not all of which I have answers for.
Jeez.
Mm. GM, can I submit a plot twist?
You can try.
So the Pale Syndicate bought this place from someone, yes?
Yeah.
Someone with the money for buying something like this. Him or her or them or whoever owned this tower or one of their servants has left their credentials in here. They didn't quite sanitize the data.
That would be in there. That plot twist wouldn't get you past this because it requires a certain answer. It expects a certain answer. But those credentials would make things easier. It's less likely to come after you, like set off alarms and turn on all the security stuff right away.
It'll help with other stuff.
Actually, what I'll do,
It's not
I know what
this.
It's a surprise to a little. Help us later.
Yeah.
What I'll do, I'll give you a clock, a friendly clock that is basically puzzle armor, if you will. In that you are allowed to screw up a certain number of times, because as far as it's concerned, you work here. So you're allowed to guess multiple times, as opposed to a guest who is only allowed to guess once, and if they're wrong, they're in the wrong place. But if you work here, you're allowed to screw up once or twice. In this case, you're allowed to screw up to 4 times. Before the credential falls apart, and then it knows that then it's going to assume you stole the credential, or you're holding the person who has those credentials hostage or something.
Well, don't worry. With the amount of doubles that you've been rolling tonight, we'll just be able to keep this thing filled.
Mm-hmm. And there's another clock. This is the pack-up clock. It's just you guys haven't failed anything yet, so the clock hasn't ticked forward. You're going through the tower pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Yet being the operative word.
Yeah, you have your 5 books. And Zevin, you're able to kind of quit. You noticed on the tablet, oh, wait a minute. They left their credential slate next to in between one of these books. So you just walk over and wave it over the plate, and it goes, "Oh, you're so and so," and it'll note that in the corner that you're so and so. Some random person from Ascara who really shouldn't have left that in the library. They really were supposed to take that with themselves. Luckily for them, their owner sold off the tower before their mistake was noticed.
How does the book search go for us, all of us?
Yeah, you find 5 books. You have them all. You bring them back to the main table.
Does anything seem out of place about these books?
They look Ascaran. They're all data slates.
Ah, okay. They're all slates. Oh, are they like transparent slates?
Yeah. With like runes hovering on the surface.
Okay, interesting. Path of Wisdom starts with the first but ends with the last. Yeah. I'm afraid I do not speak Ascaran. I must leave this task to your deciphering, Seven.
More might though. Does more?
No.
Oh.
Straight
Just me
not.
then. All right, let's give it a decipher roll, I guess.
What are you deciphering?
Can I translate the titles so that they can participate as well?
You certainly could. The one book is in full. It's a book. You translate it in a way that's a lot more succinct for them to understand. Because in Ascaran, it's a very long-winded, to other language is it's a long-winded way to say something. In Ascaran, that makes perfect sense. It's descriptive. It's telling you exactly what the book is about. Of course you're using all those words. But the first book is, you can tell just from the title, is a book about the 4 primal elements of fire, ice, wind, and earth. The second book, it regards supposed divine powers, celestial beings of the void and darkness, and the wisdom and guidance that one can extract from that. The third book goes into the history of the ancient people that the Ascaran study, the supposed rulers that they think. Well, they equate rulers, but that's probably not correct. I would think there's more to it than that. As well as some pretty pointed opinions about what the ancient civilization really was. The fourth book is it's a collection of prophecies and divinations of certain Ascaran magia users who are able to discern through various magispheres and guess at what fate and Ultima holds for everyone. And the last one speaks of Shadow is an oversimplification, but the longer title basically amounts to this one I'll actually ask for an insight roll on its own, because this last book is a little vague, and it's not something you would know off the top of your head, I don't think. You just know that this sort of book, if you ever saw it with a 7, this sort of book in detail talks about well, people could assist you possibly, but with a 7 alone, I can tell you that this is a book that if you were found with this data slate, you'd be immediately arrested. Because you're not supposed to have you're not supposed to be anywhere near this.
I got the funny book.
Funny book.
Only the most powerful of the Sultanate would be allowed to look at this, normally. So, whoever lost this book is in a ton of trouble. It's not supposed to leave the Sultanate. Actually, worse yet, they have a whole section of stuff on that sort of thing. There's basically a whole shelf of shadows, and this is just the one that the slate was talking about. Anyone try to assist Zevin in trying to figure out what that last book's about? From the title.
I shall.
Okay.
I will assist.
I'll attempt to assist.
Although, is this a full roll, or is this...
You're assisting with...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I need to read.
We're actually helpful.
You are. I have to open up a certain document to double check something. Because I had wrongly presumed they're going to be digging through this without your help. You'd be escaping the other way. It's like, oh wait, I forgot you could just insta escape. Well, all right.
Legal book. Well, I managed to figure out some of them. Is that good enough? She just kind of dumps them all on the table.
The last book is The best translation that comes that you're figuring what it's saying, because this is stuff that you never would have researched. You're kind of guessing at precursor language now, which you know like a handful of words because you've stolen some of that's reappropriated these things. So you need to know enough to know if it's real or it's fake. But you're not a scholar. That's not one of your strengths. But this is a book of Radobara war machines and how to build them.
What are those? I will ask Seven.
And which book does that refer to?
The Book of Shadows. Shadows being a kind of catch-all word for forbidden knowledge. You're not supposed to know this. Like, you use the Ascaran word for shadow, and it's like, well, that's just a slang word for saying it's illegal.
Oh, wild.
Or only people of high rank are allowed to know this. So most people... And actually, a slang of this is you can call anything shadow knowledge. That's a shadow book. That's a shadow ring. I stole that guy's pocket. It is now a shadow pocketbook. It is now a shadow pocketbook. It's like, well, no.
Oh, great.
Legally, shadow is a specific branch of knowledge. It's just that the common person uses it for a lot of things.
Oh, so we literally just stumbled across a data slate with the word classified slapped across it.
Yeah. The longer title is it's how to build certain types of war machines.
Just some light.
Just hide that away for later. Interesting.
As those books are gathered onto the table, you see at the far north side of the chamber a section of books. A bookcase slides up to reveal a large stone door, gleaming with it looks like stone at first, like just good old big slab of slate, but you suddenly see on its face a glimmer of silver engraving, and it's
presumably matching.
And for a brief second, you can see a sheen of gold as if it's shining through the slate gray.
Presumably matching with the outlines of the slates that we have.
They look much smaller. It looks like a data slate has been embedded into the stonework.
Oh, okay.
And from here, that golden sheen, Zevin, that looks to you. You know what that is on sight. That is orichalcum, magic stone. Intensely rare. A bit in your hand. You and Moore have both been using orichalcum in powdered form for alchemy. Use a pinch of it to do all your alchemy. This is a door made of the stuff.
Oh,
Holy crap. Okay.
Seven just reaches into her bag and pulls out a pickaxe.
I would consider it.
Maybe next time. Incredible.
It's so beautiful. I wonder how much it would sell for.
I wonder what it does.
You could probably buy a whole city for that door. I'll tell you, Zevin, just looking at it, that would buy you a city in Ascara. Not the capital, that there's no way, but like, any other city.
Jeez.
The obscene wealth of the Ascaran nobles.
Oh, if only we had time.
Unfortunately, time is something that we seem a bit short on, so we must decipher the order of these with due haste.
On the surface of the stone, you see some lettering, which Zevin's able to translate rather quickly. By what element doth the sands turn? By what divine doth we serve is not the right word.
Revere?
Revere, yeah. Whom doth be our inspiration? What path, capitalized, do we tread? And lastly, what shadow do we seek?
Okay, well, that means that there's an answer to each of those questions in one of each of the books.
One hope.
Shadow in all caps. We are playing Mutants and Masterminds. Ornon gets that joke. So by what divine doth we by what element doth the sands turn? By what divine doth we revere? Whom doth by our inspiration? What path do we tread? What shadow do we seek?
Oh, be
So
our
I
inspiration.
think-
Sorry, I mistyped there. What doth be your inspiration, not by.
What doth be? Yes. Okay. By which doth the sands turn? I think the question with the elements one is whether we consider the turning of the sands to be something done by the winds or a factor of the sands and the earth itself. Question of the divine? I don't know enough about Oscaran culture to tell you what divine they worship, Seven, but you might know, or it might be in this book here.
Now let's give it a looky. Looky.
What book do you look through?
Ooh, there was one on. Oh dear, my brain is empty. My brain just had its own little cute. You can tell I'm low on sleep today. All
Yeah.
right. I've forgotten what the book.
They're in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the divine. So on.
The divines go at length into various celestial beings of the darkness and gods, representing various things. They're gods, the most ancient of gods, the Rabadaran war gods who unleash darkness upon the world. It then goes into those that came after. It's all it says, as if that should be obvious to the reader. Those that came after look not to the darkness to wage war, but to seek wisdom between the stars.
Yeah. Yeah, the gods of wisdom and logic. Yep. One of them.
I think for Lucius, he wants to consider the elements question, and because he's been doing a lot of reading on the elements lately, and between the book in front of him and what he's learned, he wants to try to determine whether or not it considers what turns the sand, or like whether or not the sand is a self-turning thing.
Insight's part of it.
And I get my +3. Because I think there are two possible answers to it. 10, even.
Can I assist?
Certainly could.
Nope.
No, she's distracted in her own book.
Mm-hmm.
You are right. I will say with a 10, you are right to think it is either wind or earth.
Okay.
The others would make no sense given what it's asking about.
Yeah. Like wind, it's either wind turning the sands or earth to indicate that the sands are turning. It's a question of if it's an active or a passive element. And we have a little bit of a buffer, so if it comes down to it, that's when we can just we can coin flip at the end for that. Although if I had to make a guess, considering the last puzzle we did, I would say Earth.
Okay, Earth works.
The final solution, the final input for the last puzzle we did was also Earth, so...
Do you type into the space Earth? Or you not type it, you like draw it in space in the.
Well,
blank.
I'm not entering it yet.
Okay.
I want to try and I want to try and figure the rest of these.
Okay.
Whom doth be our inspiration? What is it that the 7? What do the Askaran? I assume the Askarans have a name in their language, in your language, for these strange ones that came before.
Yeah, the ancients, precursors.
And I assume that has a word in Askaran.
Yep. Like draw the glyph in there.
Well, for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Radobara.
Yeah.
Even its scrawling looks very aggressive. Like it's almost like it's hard to draw it without it looking very hostile looking.
What path do we tread?
Very spiky.
Presumably, 7, you can tell me if I'm off base in my assessment. But I've definitely gotten the impression that you and your Askaran friends are more interested in progress than anything else.
Knowing logic. Progress.
That specific book is Futures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the book specifically? Now that we've like found it, the Futures book.
Divinations and prophecies of what lies ahead for the Sultanate. It's a collection,
yeah.
mythology of such.
Oh yeah, then it's all about the progress of Askara. Yeah. And Shadow, you were able to determine the name of those kinds of war machines, is that right?
I mean, yeah. I know some.
Like, did those have actual like names to them, Corby?
What are they called, Seven? What are these terrible monstrosities of ancient times?
Ooh.
Oh, that is a good. Corby, you ask such good questions.
Hmm.
It goes on these harvesters. They're just harvest.
That sounds a bit ominous.
Yep. I mean, we like it simple.
I'm sorry, harvesters. Jeez.
I mean, there's a much longer way to say it, but you know.
It's a colloquial term.
Oh,
But it's descriptive. You know, gets the point across. It's a war machine harvester.
because terrible, horrible murder bots wasn't like it was too on the nose, I guess.
I mean, yes, but that eats up your page space every single time. See?
Besides, different kinds of war machines. There's war machine troopers, war machine guardians, war machine doors.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're doors that are war
one.
machines. Figure that out.
Look, they're doors. That means that they're the most they're the most dangerous thing an adventuring party could face.
No, it's a door
War
that shoots
machine
back.
door.
It's the
God.
anti-barbarian
Door?
door. Go ahead. What was that, more?
Said, wouldn't it be the floor being the most dangerous thing?
Nah. The floor. Yes.
Okay, so I think we kind of have our answers then. It's Earth, the divine being of knowledge, the precursor ancients, progress, and the harvesters. Jesus.
Type in your answers into the chat, into the Roll20 chat as you write them onto the data slate.
Would you like to do that, Seven? You're the one who speaks Askaran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you mean for the second one, by what divine doth we revere to be Radabara?
No. No, that's the inspiration.
Ah.
Oops, I'm writing them out of order.
You might want to write them in order.
Teehee. Alright, let's write them in order. Gotta pull up my other hand for this. Both hands.
Multi-track drifting.
The last one is yeah. Well, good enough. It posted in 2 messages for some unknown reason. T. Go.
Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You get an error message, and it asks, do you wish to try again, essentially, as it assumes that you just mistyped. You must have not meant to write that.
Yeah. In this type.
Earth, logic, Rhodobara.
At least
Win.
one of those is wrong.
Well, if it's gonna be, can we try to reason out how many of them are wrong?
Insight's part of it.
I'll take that roll.
You figure. No, sorry. 2 of those are wrong. Actually, time goes by, so the clock ticks forward.
Oh. I mean, the thing is, one of them could be the element by which the sands turn.
Yeah.
So if we were to assume that's wrong, then that means that only one of them is wrong. We can change Earth to air for this next one, and if it's actually Earth that's correct, then man, we are really off base on this. Well, hang on, let's not enter it just yet, because we do have to fix one other.
It has been typed.
Okay, dang it.
At least one of those is wrong. Actually, because of the earlier roll, I will tell you that only one is wrong now.
Okay, so it was air. We determined the divine one earlier. Let's look over that futures one again. Did we ever actually read that book, or did we?
You know in general that it's about various prophecies and divinations of the future of Ascara. It's a collection, anthology of them.
Yeah. Is there anything in that book 7 regarding the general path that is foreseen for Ascara to walk in? Any that seem common between the various anthologies? Common themes?
You wish to ferret that out, Zevin? That is insight with a +2.
I will. Insight with it.
Can any of us try to assist?
You can, but 10 will get it.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
The most common one is that in time, the Advisory Council of Logos shall awaken the harvesters and unleash them upon the world to spread the Sultanate to every corner of the countless realms.
Oh, that's it. That's not good. I don't think that's good. Okay.
There are other futures that could happen, but that's a pretty common one that this particular anthology seems to be pointing at. That seems to be the most likely path.
Okay. I think I'm gonna write that as expansion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that seems...
Oh.
And the orichalcum vanishes from view.
Oh, that's not good.
Guys, we have a problem. We got two
What?
problems. We got one problem, which is finding Aether, and the other problem is that
That? What is that? Remember,
Well-
I don't read Ascara squiggles.
yeah, well the squiggles say a bunch of stuff about war and expansion and this right here. And that's a little prefix, and it's not the good kind.
So you mean to say that Ascara is planning war?
Or at least in this theory book.
Lucius just sort of furrows his brow, then sort of shrugs, claps Seven on the shoulder, and says, "Welcome to the club."
Oh, well, this is how it feels.
The support drone beeps menacingly, and then beep boops friendly. Beep boop. Beep boop. Threatening wiggle, because it's a little drone. It doesn't have any guns to wiggle at you. That's a little laser thing.
Yeah, that's a little laser thing. That's a
It's
gun.
a little pointer. It's a little pointer laser. It's a targeting one.
I love it. I love him so much. But you said the door opened?
Yep.
Alrighty, let's get moving.
Let's get moving.
Let's
Schmoving.
get... I was just gonna say, let's get schmoving.
Gotta get schmoving.
You progress downward. This time instead of spiral staircase, it goes straight for a bit and then starts angling down. And you can see far and away from you, there's this massive pit upon which that glows with a ethereal blue fiery light. As there seem to be these massive orichalcum cages. Many are empty. Some have creatures that are not moving anymore, and they're inside them. But one happens to have Aether with a mechanical automata construct that looks similar to Zevin Demeril, but has Magisphere eyes and a Magisphere core in the center. And it seems to be that one hand's resting on Aether's head, and you can see it pulsing with light. And Aether just kind of groans as the process continues. Zevin, you recognize these sort of cages as the sort of cages that are used to contain... they're not meant to imprison people. Iron and steel bars or a hole in the ground do that just fine. These are orichalcum cages. They are very expensive, and they're meant to contain like the super dangerous war machines they find in the Rabadahara ruins. Like if you want to keep a war machine and like keep it in a contained space, you put it in one of these cages, and no matter what it does, it can't hurt anything outside the cage. It could be firing and blowing stuff up all day, and nothing will leave that cage. For a person, it's overkill. Though a cage like this would probably be able to be strong enough to contain, say, the sorceress. It's like that's the sort of person you'd be using to contain. Anything less than that's way overkill.
Good to know for future reference.
Yeah.
Um,
Very good to know for future reference.
Peering down into the down the stairwell, there is a stairwell that spirals down to the base far below where the glowing blue fire is coming from. All the way down there. So actually, I have these backwards. They are no. Well, yeah, no, this is correct. This is the stage before you can actually get to them. There is a space that leads to a massive. Where others might think to look for a fire, Zevin, you already know what you're looking for before you look over the edge. You've seen these before. It is a massive, all the way down there, it's this massive cylinder with various panels of glass and wire that are containing a pulsing light of blue contained within bright brass wires and caging and such. And that would be the Magitech, the Magisphere containment unit. Where you use a couple Magispheres for this spell or that alchemy or this alchemy, if you want to power, say, a magical tower or a war machine, you need one of these. It's basically a big container full of Magispheres that are configured in such a way that they interact and create a massive magical effect. Usually the simplest one, think of this as a Magisphere version of a ritual, except it's not a ritual per se. It's a ritual for mechanics purposes, but like game mechanics purposes. But in world, it's more, this is how they do magic rituals, is through arranging these. The simplest of these is just to create a lot of power, to power a system. You can do it to do all kinds of things. But most Oscarans don't bother because that's very dangerous. As you know about rituals, if you fail a ritual, something very bad happens. So most people go for the simple route. You do see some people down there messing with the who are moving the switches as it looks like they're getting ready to collapse the tower. But they have to do some stuff before they can leave. Like they'll set it to a certain setting, and then they'll probably start climbing all the way out, and then leave, and then that will trigger the collapse effect, and it will collapse the whole tower.
You do not want to be inside that when that happens.
And
No, not.
you see Dravos is down there directing the affairs.
All right, let's get to it then.
I will say at this point they don't know you're here because you're looking up, you're looking on down from them, and you didn't break your way into this place, so.
Well, he definitely knows what I look like. He probably knows what Lucius looks like, but more Duncan. What do you think?
Oh, I leave it to you more, Duncan.
Or I can try to sneak closer.
Oh, I'll also note, sorry, I almost forgot this part of the room. There is a, I forget, they don't actually ascend the tower. There's a magical circle nearby that when you pull the switches, you walk over to it and it teleports you to the door. So it's meant for you to set the thing and then immediately walk out. Like, they probably walk down here, but if they want to get out quickly, that's how they do it. They want to forget to tell you about that.
Thank you.
I will warn these 4 are elites. You can tell from the way their armor. You can tell from their armor. They're elite guards and elite snipers.
Definitely do not want to fight.
Yeah. Is there a way we could distract them? Set up an alarm somewhere else to draw them away? Maybe?
I mean, perhaps. Yeah, we could set on the lower floors or something.
You mean upper floors?
I mean, you know what I mean. The I'm looking at this map and I'm looking at it like the wrong way.
Yeah.
perspective-wise.
Yep.
I realized that after I set it up. I was like, oh shoot, you're going down, not up. Oh well.
I mean, not on the groundish floors. But require me to go back, and that would take time. All right, team, your call. Oh.
Wait a second. Here's the thing. So they're not. So there's like is it like a pad they have to stand on, and then the lever gets pulled, and they get to just leave.
Yeah.
There's a big Magitech container, and they have to use a bunch of spheres to set it up a certain way. Once they're done, they walk over to the pad and just stand there for a while, and then it will teleport them away.
Okay, so it's a whole process. Got it.
In theory, you could just stand on the circle for a little bit, and you'll just be teleported anyway. The circle is kind of independent is its own independent system from the cylinder. As long as it's powered by the cylinder, it will do what it's supposed to do. Much like the doors above and the arcane lanterns and all that.
Right.
I just only had an image of, if you ever seen like a Walmart, like one of those ball, like there's this big netted thing and there's a bunch of like big bouncy balls all kind of thrown in there in a random assortment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Think that, but Magispheres and a big glass tube.
The awe and grandeur is ruined.
The forbidden boba.
Crunchy.
Magisphere Boba.
I mean, we could try to make a system fault somewhere down there they need to fix. Might get some of them away.
Sure.
Alright.
So
Well, I'll go start.
Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna go on 2 floors. 2 floors seem nice. It's a good amount, halfway down, halfway up.
This area here is where the is inside the tower, that first floor that you're in. This is the front gate zone, if you will. This is the library zone.
So just warning, if you try to do something there, you might attract more than just the guys we want to attract.
Alright, here then. I'm gonna mess around with the system, cause some faults.
And you're trying to like cause an alert to get some of these guys to come up to see what's going on.
Yeah, there's some sort of maintenance issue. Can't automate the shutdown.
Willpower is part of it, as you're trying to... It's going to be opposed because you're trying to trick them into thinking something's wrong, that they need to go. I'm going to roll for each person, and for each person who fails, they're going to come up.
Can I try to assist?
If you go up where Zevin is, sure.
Sure. I'll go up where she is. I might be able to assist here. I have decent willpower. Or not.
Oh, it's still 14. 14 ain't bad.
Yeah.
I'm clicking everything but what I need. This is open. That is open. I need... Oh, that's why. There we go. Clicka, clicka. What's it doing? Stop that. Center. Thank you. Okay, guards. Willpower. Guard 1. Nope.
Jeez.
In fact, he did so well. Actually, we'll let that sit for now, because he doesn't necessarily succeed yet, because he might reroll. Guard 2. So, this guy is definitely coming up. And then we check on the snipers. Where are you? There you are. Funny enough, they're not huge on willpower. That's not their specialty. Sniper 1. Sniper 2. Nope, both the snipers are going up. And, of course, Dravos, because he might go look, because, you know, fine. There's a definite look of, I want to hurry up and get going, so I'm going to personally watch what's going on. Look to him, so. Willpower is pretty high, which makes sense. He's a schemy bugger. Wow, no, he's going up.
Yay.
So as of right now, if you don't reroll, one guard will stay there. The downside is he will have an opportunity for his side.
Yeah, the only problem is looking at things. That's about as good as Seven's gonna roll.
15. Yeah, the most you could hope for is a tie, which that would still go to him anyway. Yeah, no.
Very lucky.
So, Lucius, you have 4 people to evade. How are you not being noticed? Or are you just gonna stand there and wait for them to go by you?
He is going. What is in this room?
Oh, and before I go too much further, the clock advances by 2 hexes, or decreases. Sorry, it's a countdown.
Is that the opportunity?
That's the opportunity this guy's using, yeah, because he's doing a good job. He's making it go down faster.
Cool. So what is in this room?
This is a massive, this is a landing where it goes down into it looks over the pit, and there's a spiral staircase that goes all the way down. So they're walking up the staircase up to where you are. Across from you is the big gilded cages that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. To which end, Lucius will just make as though he is performing maintenance on one of the cages.
They are like they're over the pit basically. The way to make them go up and down is with the switches down below.
Oh, and they are coming up here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back into the other room then, because there's literally nowhere to hide here. And nothing to interact with to make busy work.
Okay, they ascend the floor. They're gonna keep going all the way to the top because you made noise up here. So, what do you got? As you see Lucius come up, what do you do?
Try to hide, I guess? Or try to sneak by them.
If you as a group are trying to sneak by them, it'd be Dex as part of it. The rest would assist. It'd be opposed, and they would do, as a group, they would roll, they'd probably get him to roll, actually one of them would use whoever has the best insights, they'd be the ones doing it, and the others would be assisting that person.
Who in the group who in our group has good decks? Because I
have
probably
decent decks.
Mine is a D10.
D10 here, I believe.
You're both
hang-
better than me.
Well,
D10.
just one thing.
Snipers.
Okay. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Cool. Hey. I'm going to spend 5 mind points. Bring myself down to 78. 7, you regain. Not that it will matter.
Wow.
20 hit points, and your dex goes up by 1.
Oh.
By
And one
one
die size?
die?
Yeah, 1 die size.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So now I'm rolling dex on this, huh?
Dex is part of it, yeah.
Oh.
Hang on.
I rolled an 8. I should spend a point to my trait.
Reroll that d12.
Yeah, I'm from Oscara. It's an
Gee.
Oscaran thing.
Yeah, you know your way around an Escaran library, what a good place to hide is. I believe that.
I assume you would wanted to keep the you would wanted to keep that 7, right?
Yes, I'll keep the 7.
So that would be, I'll take the 4, so you add 3, so 1, 2, 3, so that's 11, I would say.
If you would
Alright.
like, I can give you another Fabula.
We'll stick with what I've got.
Hey, this
I-
is pretty important.
Alright,
I
if you
could
insist,
give you a
sure.
Fabula if you want.
Hmm?
I have
You
more
guys
to
can do that.
spare. I could give a Fabula. Oh wait, I don't think I can because you need a
No,
class to do that.
yeah, it's a thing I can do.
Ah.
My trust in you. So you can reroll as normal. You also regain 20 mind points.
I'll show you what they
Nice.
rolled, because you get to see what they rolled as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, and we get to assist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll roll to try to assist.
Assist. Plus 2, so
I'm no help.
19.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Um,
time to run.
Hang on.
Can-
I'm gonna give you a Fabula. You can re-roll once again. You'll have to roll really high, but it's possible for you to do.
Alright, I'll just roll 1d12. 10. Oh,
Assume
7
you're-
and 10.
Just short.
17
short.
plus 1 is 18. Yep.
Can I spend a Fabula to create a situational advantage for us? Like, we're able to happen upon a secret passage because it's already been established that these kinds of things have secret passages.
Before that, I think we're missing something here. I gave a bonus to Zevin because you're in a Scaran library. Oh no, that's how
I
you
did,
re-rolled
yeah.
it. Did I give you a bonus or no?
Mhm.
No, I let you re-roll because it's in a Scaran library. Never mind. Sorry, you were asking if you can use Fabula to create something in the scene that would help you.
Yes.
All those rerolls were done with Fabula, not a bonus.
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't a bonus. I was like, did I say there was a bonus? Like, oh wait, no. The explanation was that's how you got to that's why a reroll made sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Fabula points. Spending. Add an existing element or add a new element. Is a Fabula point cost. So you're saying like a secret passage or something?
Yeah, something that we could duck into.
I will take a Fabula point from you. Yeah.
Sure.
To what trait? Oh wait, no, hold on. You don't invoke a trait to alter the story. You just alter the story. You give me a point.
Hooray.
As you're very quickly able to notice a little service corridor. It looks like somewhere where it's where like cleaning supplies are. And that gives you just enough to avoid being spotted by 2 elite snipers, an elite guard, and Silver Tongue himself as they ascend up to the first floor to see what the fault's about.
We all come
Yeah.
crashing out of the supply closet.
Whew.
Right. I imagine that distraction won't last long, so we should move.
Agreed.
Yep.
So you all descend to where the Magitech cylinder is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you sneak down there or just walk in boldly where the guard is?
Well, we are in disguises, so.
Yeah, that was the thing we were really worried about was Silver Tongue.
Does he have the ability to call for help? Like, is there like a alarm button or something?
Give me insight as part of it.
Okay. Mm.
You're not sure.
Eh.
There might be a switch, he might have a thing on his person, or he might just have to shout. You're not sure. So the group of you walk down over to where he is. He's fiddling with the switches. He hears a lot of bootsteps behind him and kind of turns to look. Yes? Hello? Can I help you?
Yes. Silver Tongue is currently attending to the fault upstairs. And we're here as relief
Oh, okay then.
and maintenance.
Maintenance? We're closing up. Why would we be doing maintenance?
Make sure that everything's operating properly.
You don't want it to close up the wrong way, do you?
Well, no, but I've never seen any of you before. Are you new?
Well, Silver Tongue has brought in a lot of new people over the past few weeks.
Well, yes, that's how the syndicate works. He shakes his head a little confused.
Our specialists to maintain this place,
Oh,
starting to have issues keeping up the code and all that. One bad collapse and we'll be scraping you off the walls.
oh, it's weird. I've never met you before.
Yeah. Big world out there.
Yeah, it is. I didn't know we had an Ascarian amongst us. He peers at you.
As said, recent hires.
All right. Well,
Climate's much better here.
I don't know. It's a bit damp for me. Just don't touch any of the switches on the cylinder and we'll be fine. He continues working. As he assumes you're going to work on something else.
And is this guy a from Coriostellum?
Yeah, he is.
In that case, Lucius will walk over to him and start chatting him up and, chatting about local politics and the upcoming election and
Who he supports?
yeah, just making small talk that one of the Republic can.
Yeah, he'll engage in small talk as he works.
How about that Aventus family?
How about that Avantis family? Yeah, mainly just trying to keep him occupied while Seven does what Seven does.
Probably also talking about the gladiator belts, or contests, I guess.
Willpower is part of it to distract this guy. It will be opposed by him because he's trying to. He will have a +1 because he knows he has to get this done before he gets yelled at by his boss. So he's like, "I'll talk to you, but I really need to keep doing what I'm doing."
My willpower is a D8.
Can I assist?
Or would you rather do it? I don't know what you've got for a D8. Or for willpower.
I'm rocking D10s.
Then you're probably better leading this than I am.
How are you distracting him then?
I will also talk about current events, but from the curious foreigner side of things.
Okay.
Oh, what? Didn't you know?
I heard there's an election coming up. How does that work?
Yeah, and Lucius will be like, "Oh, didn't you know? Oh, you can explain it to her." I hate this.
I'm gonna invoke a Fabula to reroll under the trait of Journeying Merchant in that I know how to talk to people.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. There we go.
Ah, that's a 12.
As a 9, he is distracted.
Nice.
What are you up to, Zevin? As they have they start talking small talk about the local election, freaking the republic, the entire republic election, the councilship.
Yeah, the national election.
I'm gonna figure out a little more about this little cage here.
You see there is controls for various things in the tower. There is one set of controls that regard the cages.
Okay, alright. Figure once we pop that thing, he's gonna notice, so it's a matter of getting out of here immediately afterwards. Can that teleport circle only be activated once we start the shutdown?
No, it's just you just have to be standing on it. It just takes a little time for it to teleport you.
Okay. I'm gonna get everyone ready. Kind of like little hand signally. I'm gonna leave Droney on the circle there. And I guess it's time to flip that lever.
Inside is part of it to figure out which lever is the correct lever. Because otherwise you might lower down one of the cages you don't want to lower down. Alternatively, you can just open the bottom of it and let whatever's in there drop.
Pull the lever, Crunk.
Pull that lever. Lever's been pulled with 11.
Are you lowering it, or are you just opening one of the correct hatch?
Just gonna open it.
What? Well, they don't yell. They both just fall and thunk into the ground as Aether and the automata both smack into the ground. The guard looks over at the thunk, looks around at where Zevin is. Hey, what are you doing?
Ooh. I'll never. Right. Wait. We'll fix this. Don't worry about it. Got it.
Well, lower the cage so we can put them back in. Quickly, before it wakes up.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know exactly what we're about to do.
Beep boop. Intruders detected. Elimination protocol activated. And then you see the automata Zevin stand up. And you see it load one of the Magitech spheres into its Magitech cannon, and it levels it at the party.
Oh
Uh-oh.
god.
Oh dear.
And that's where we'll end it. As the guard looks on in horror of, what have you done? You've killed us all.
Sure. Had regrets. Sure had something that you've done that you just wish you could take back. Next week on Fabula Ultima.
For all of you watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we hope to see you again next time. Maybe they'll be able to defeat Zevin Demerol for real. On the plus side, you know, Aether's gonna be down there already next time, so doesn't have to go through all the puzzles. She's just there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oof.
I am very glad you guys didn't get into a fight with Silver Tongue on the way up.
Yeah.
It's like, and yeah, you're facing the boss with his elite goons. This is gonna be rough.
Yup.
I didn't even spend any Ultima. Darn it. Darn you for actually doing the puzzles.
Hooray!
Yep.
Huzzah.